Hey, what's up? Welcome. If you're new here, welcome to either KT VIP or 9 University. If you're old here, if you've been here for a while and you're coming back to watch this video, you are in the right place. Guys, I'm making this video to pull back the curtain on life, to pull back the curtain on this mess that we are all caught up in with. This is serious stuff, and I want you guys to watch this before going through the program because this is what will prepare you. This video right here, this quick presentation that I have planned out for you will prepare you for success, not only with this program, but with life. Okay, again, this is serious stuff, and this is something that everyone needs to know and everyone needs to watch, and we need to take this seriously. So I'm super excited that you are here. You are in the right place. Let's jump right to it. It's time to pull back the curtain. It's time to wake up, okay? So in order to be in the top 1% of the world's richest people, okay, here's what you have to do. You have to have $1 million. You have to be worth $1 million. That 1% of people that are worth $1 million own 45% of the world's wealth. Let's just stop for a second. Let's just breathe and think about that for a second. 1% of people own 45% of all of the world's wealth. Okay, so you can either start to get mad at that. That should start to irritate you a little. Inside, something deep down knows that is weird. That is not, there's something up with that. Let me make sure I'm recording sound. How do I sound? Do I sound good? You guys like the mic? Guys, there's something wrong, okay? 45% of the world's wealth, okay? So we'll talk about that in a second, okay? In order to be in the top 8%, just the top 8% of the world's richest people, you must have only $100,000 to your name. You must only be worth $100,000. That 8% of people own 40% of the world's wealth. So between the 1% and the 8%, we own 85%. Yeah, I'm reading that right. I had to look down to make sure I was reading that right. 85% of the world's wealth. The other 7.5 billion people share collectively 15%. Okay, just like look at those numbers for a second, soak that in. That may be common knowledge, but maybe that hasn't actually sunk into your mind that is the truth, okay? And this truth is the guiding principle behind what I'm about to talk about in this presentation, okay? Politics aside, let's just ditch the fact that it is weird. It is weird that I throw out half of my fridge and people around the world starve to death. It is weird that there are 500-pound people in the United States going through buffet lines when there are kids starving in Africa. Let's just throw out the politics for a second. Obviously, that is weird, and obviously we strive to fix that. I mean, like that. There's something that's weird about that. But politics aside, if it was just you and yourself, if it was just you and your loved ones, where would you want to be on this graph? Okay? Do you want to be in the top 1%? Do you want to be at the top of this pyramid, or do you want to hang out at the bottom with the people there, or even in the middle? I mean, like anywhere on this pyramid besides the top, where do you want to be? Okay, because this is the critical question. As you can see, the majority, 99%, actually greater, 99.3% of people don't make it. They don't make it to their dreams, their goals, their aspirations. Let's just be very real for a second. Many of you guys may say, oh, I'd be happy with 100 grand, or I'd be happy with 200 grand. Let's just stop all the BS for a second, okay? We want to be in that top 1%. We want to be worth over $1 million. We want money to be an issue of the past. We want money to be something that we worried about at one point, but now we worry about freedom and time with our families and all the stuff that we care about, right? Let's just be honest for a second. Let's throw all the bull crap aside. We want to be at the top of this pyramid, right? Okay, here's the question though. How can we, and generally, anyone watching this video, how can we expect 1% actions, 1% results, from 99% actions? Because clearly there's something going on. 99% of people are taking actions that are leading them to be below that 1% of people who control everything, who own everything. So how can we expect to have the 1% results by following the crowd, the 99% that don't know what the heck they are doing? Okay, you can't expect that. And I'm going to show you even more. It's a great quote. You should write this down. The person who follows the crowd will usually go no further than the crowd. The person who walks alone is likely to find himself in places that no one has ever seen before. Albert Einstein, he's a pretty Smart guy. So what does everybody do? What does the crowd do? Well, you can think of a few things that define modern society, right? They sit in traffic. They sit in a cubicle. They go and they work a certain set schedule every week, Monday through Friday. There are these days, there are these times, there are these named days. Monday through Friday is associated with going to work, getting a paycheck, hard work, earning your keep. Saturday through Sunday, just think of those words for a second. The words Saturday and Sunday have so much more positive vibe than Monday through Friday, because we have associated the weekend as just escaping our life. We have taken 5 days of our week and allocated that to stuff that we don't want to do, and we have taken 2 days of our week and given that over to pleasure and all the stuff that makes me happy. Doesn't that seem a little twisted? You're trading 5 days of your week for 2 days of life. 5 days for 2 days. That is not a fair trade in my book. And that is what everyone is doing. Go out, walk down the street. Go out and look at the traffic. Go out and look at people driving their cars on a day-to-day basis. People are not happy. Everyone is doing the same thing, and this is the facts of the matter. And you can choose to either ignore it or to see it right in front of your eyes, but this is what is happening. More importantly, why is this happening? Why is everyone putting on the same clothes in the morning, going to a job that they hate, going up elevators, and going and sitting in a cubicle for 8 hours a day? Why are people going to a job where they're paid less than they want to make? Why are they not traveling the world, chasing the dreams that they had when they were little kids, the dreams that they said, I wanted to be a world traveler, a singer, a firefighter, an NBA basketball player? Why have those dreams all died and been replaced by this grind, this monotonous, it's hard to say the word slavery because there are people that are in legit slavery in this world today, but let's be real. It is a type of servitude that we are giving to this system that everyone is doing. So why is that? And that's what I'm going to try to answer here, okay? And most importantly, how can you walk on your own path? How can you divert this from following the 99% headed to the slaughterhouse, headed to the life that is below what they expected? How can you divert this life and take it into the 1% category who controls everything, who owns everything, and who has ultimate freedom, time and money freedom? How can you do that, right? So, number one, guys, what 99% of people do, this is what people do, okay? They follow the script, okay? The script that life has laid out for us since the day we were born. This script goes a lot like this. Stop me if you've heard these before. Get into a good college. Get some good grades. It's worth the price. Get a good job. Work your butt off. Move up. Live below your means. Save your money. In 40 years, you will be rich. How many of you guys have heard that one? Fake it until you make it. Starting a business is risky. Mutual funds, IRAs, blah, 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 blah are the way to go. To retire rich, be patient through decades of time and let compound interest work its magic. Your home is a great investment. Monday through Friday equals work, Saturday and Monday equals play. Money doesn't buy happiness, and time is money. How many of you guys have heard that? That is the script that life has buried into a sense. I mean, when we were kids, everyone was like, hey, you can do it. You can be an actor, a photographer, a firefighter. You can be whatever you want to be. But then the second we grow up, I don't know, when we get 5, 6 years old, whatever, all that goes out the window. And the script is just thrown into our life and pushed on us like a never-ending weight that now we have started to kind of believe this stuff, which is the craziest part of all, okay? And so here's what all of that is summarized as, kind of. There's a lot of different statements there, and I could take hours to go through how a lot of those statements are completely and utterly inaccurate. The ultimate lie, though, the one lie that comes out of this whole script that life has written for us, that everyone seems to be pressing down on us, is that time traded for your money is a good deal. It's a good deal to trade time for money. Okay, so here's the facts of the matter, and here's why this is absolutely ridiculous. I spent a lot of time on this. I tried to nail this down into one slide where I could describe to you how stupid, actually like 2 slides, how stupid this idea is. That trading your time for money actually makes sense. And it's lunacy, but everyone follows it, okay? So think about this. There are only 24 hours in a day, okay? Obviously, this is the truth. There's only 24 hours, right? You have to sleep. So there's 8 hours there. You have to travel. You have to do, you have to eat. There are certain things that you have to do on a day-to-day basis to maintain your body, right? You have a maximum, I'm talking like working yourself to death, 10 to 12 hours per day to trade your time for money, right? So you can work, you can do your thing 10, 12 hours a day, but you're really just trading time for money. Even at a ridiculous hourly wage, your income is always limited. Always. 100% of the time, always limited. I'm going to show you how, okay? Here's some funny math for you. I don't know if you've seen this before, okay? In order to join the 1%, remember the 1%, they make $1 million a year. That's it. There's 1% of people, less than 1%, make that. In order to do that with the traditional model that society says, get a job, honey, go to work hard, save your money. In order to join the 1% of people, this is what you have to do. You have to work 40 hours per week for $500 an hour. How many of you guys, let's just start, like, are anyone lawyers or brain surgeons here? Those are pretty much the only people that make $500 an hour who don't start a business, right? I can't think of anyone else who makes $500 an hour. If you're watching this and you make $500 an hour and you don't own a business, comment below, because that is very, 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 very rare, right? $500 an hour and you still have to work 40 hours a week and you'll make $1 million. Good for you, cool. But let's start to get into the more realistic stuff. Like, how many of you guys make $250 an hour, right? Probably not a lot. You'd have to work 80 hours a week. Think about working an 80-hour week. Any of you guys ever pulled an 80-hour bender, an 80-hour week? Those weeks are the weeks that can put you in the hospital. They're so hard. Those are the weeks that can literally ruin you as a human being. You're wrecked for like months because you worked an 80-hour week. And some people do that all the time. So I'm not like discounting it. People are beasts, but still. You still have to make $250 an hour. And now we're getting into the ridiculous stuff, okay? For $125 an hour, you have to work 160 hours per week. That's insane. If you want to make $1 million. Now let's get into the impossible stuff. As you can see in the note below, there are only 168 hours in a week. In a whole week. Not sleeping, not eating, not breathing, nothing. All you were doing is working. Well, these last ones are actually impossible, okay? If you make $62 an hour, which is pretty damn good, which is really good actually, you would make you have to work 320 hours every single week for the rest of your life to make $1 million a year. That's impossible. It gets even worse. 640 hours for $31 an hour, 1,280 hours per week for $15 an hour, 2,000. I mean, like, guys, just look at this crap. This is what the world is selling you. This is what people have been saying is the way to go. This is how you get to the top of the pyramid. You work hard, you trade your time for money, and eventually, in your twilight years, when you're 65 and you barely have any energy left, you can frickin' make it. You'll be fine. You'll have money in the bank. This is not a fair game, okay? Ask yourself this. If this advice was working so well, if this was such great advice, let's trade our time for money. Let's go in and work hard and work our way up and climb our way up. How come this pyramid looks like this? How come? How come there is no one at the top, but they control everything, and everyone is at the bottom? How? If it works so good, if this was such an amazing system, how many of you guys know people that make $1 million a year? How many of you guys know people that have achieved that level of success? It's very rare, isn't it? It's very crazy how rare it is. And I'm going to show you why. Wouldn't everyone, by following this great advice, land at the top? Like, it makes sense, right? Like, if this was such amazing advice, if all these sayings, if we go back a few slides, if all these sayings that people say were so correct, money doesn't buy happiness, time is money, Monday through Friday you work, on the weekends you play, fake it till you make it, starting a business is risky. If all of these sayings were real, wouldn't more people be up here? I think they probably would, right? Here's the facts. You're being lied to. That stuff that people are saying is not the truth, okay? So who is spreading this false information? Because clearly we're not, for some reason, no one's telling us the truth. And why is that? Okay, so number one, it's the people that don't know any better. And then there's two, the people that are profiting from it. But let's start with number one. False information group number 1, okay? This is literally every single person you know. Your parents, your friends, your coworkers, your siblings, your grandparents, anyone whose net worth is less than $1 million, okay? So the majority, 99% of the people that you know will be in this category. And I'm not trying to diss anyone's parents or grandparents or siblings. I know people have worked hard and they've earned the living that they've made, and some people are happy with that and they're good with it, and that's amazing, right? These are not bad people, okay? But here's the thing. Would you go to a workout class that was instructed by a 500-pound fatty and expect great results? No. Would you go to a cooking class that was a healthy cooking class that was run by a fatty? No, of course not. I'm not picking on fat people either. I'm saying, would you take financial advice from someone who was homeless? Would you go? I mean, like, what? This is what's happening, okay? We are taking advice from people who have not done what they are advising us on, right? Okay, so your parents, your coworkers, your friends, your siblings, your grandparents, their whole lives, they have grown up in the same system, hearing the same rhetoric, hearing the same advice, and eventually it started to stick. Eventually it got in their minds. And so in their minds, the only real way to make it to achieve a lifestyle that they have considered comfortable, that they have rationalized as comfortable, is that their time now equals their money, right? They have to work hard in order to get the living that they've had. And they've been able to have various levels of success with that, right? And so that's the only thing that they can pass on to you because that's all they know. And that's okay. And I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying that the advice is incorrect, okay? If you accept average advice from average people living average lives, can I expect to be anything but average? MJ DeMarco. What an amazing quote. And this is the truth, guys. You might have to take a second here while we're doing this video to look yourself in the mirror, to look your life in the mirror and really take the blinders off. Are my parents as amazingly successful as I thought they were? Or does my dad make $100,000 a year for the past 20 years and we still struggle to pay for stuff that we shouldn't struggle to pay for? Is my grandpa the epitome of success, making blah, blah, blah? He has XYZ house. Or did he mortgage that house? Really, he's not as financially successful as he appears. And when he dies, he won't be able to give anything to anyone else. I'm not saying any of this is true. I'm saying evaluate your life. And if you're taking advice from average people that live an average life, you can't expect anything different from yourself. And I apologize, but that is the truth, right? So here's the false information group number 2. Let me actually, before I go on this, I want to tell you a quick little thing. My mom is an amazing woman, one of the nicest human beings on the planet Earth, and she would not be mad at me for saying this. Her net worth, her net earnings over her life may be like, I don't know, 200 grand. Like, you know, she's been a school teacher, she's been directing plays, she was like an interior designer, but none of this stuff lasted or went far or carried a bunch of money along with it, right? And so she hasn't made a lot of money. And most of her advice is like, Kale, it's okay, it's not about the money, it's all right, you can do this and YZ, play it safe, it's all about health and safety and family. Because those are the things that have brought her value, and those are the things that have made her happy. And that's okay, and that's great. But she can't give me advice. She can't give me advice on money because she's never made any money. So I never listened to her when she said, don't start an Amazon business. I never listened to her when I started these other businesses because she's not allowed to advise me on stuff that she doesn't know how to advise me on. That's how you should treat it, okay? And so false information group number 2 is the people at the top of the pyramid. So it sucks because from around you, everywhere you are, there are people saying this false stuff. So the second group that's also saying the false stuff is coming from above. And this is the social media, the mass media, consumerism as a whole, the government itself, and the 1% of people who produce things. All these advertisements that blast you all day long, every day, whether you're on your phone, whether you're on your TV, whether you're in your car, it doesn't matter. All of these things are pushing products, consumer desires. Buy this BMW, buy this Audi, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, because the 1% of people are controlling the ads, the media, the government. And if you don't think that, your head's under the frickin' rocks. Those people control everything, and they are shoving it down your throats because you're the ones paying for their 1% lifestyle, okay? There's a reason they're at the 1%, is because they get you to pay for it, okay? And so that's the truth, and it's time to wake up to it, okay? And that's why they're saying this stuff. They're not practicing what they preach. Think about it. Who really, honestly, really profits from teaching a whole culture, every single person you know, you've known forever, except the 1% of rich people, that trading time for money is a worthwhile trade? There's no real reason, there's no rhyme or reason. Obviously, clearly the math isn't there to support it. It doesn't make sense logically. So why would people be saying it? The only way they'd be saying it is those two reasons. They don't know any better, and number two, they know better, but they're profiting from it. So they are selfishly telling you that, okay? So I'm here to break that wall for you so you can see. And so the math is off. We get that. Everything is wrong about it. It doesn't make sense logically. So why do people still do this? Like, is everyone an idiot? Like, does everyone not realize that, time for money is a bad trade? Well, here's the thing. A lot of you guys know this stuff. The first few slides that I said in this presentation, you understand that, right? You realize that there are people influencing you from above and also from around you, and it's just how it is. But you also don't have a choice, right? You have to go and work that job because you have a car payment. You have a house payment. You have rent payments. You have a crap ton of college debt. And there's all this stuff that you think that you need, right? I need this TV. I need this, XYZ, these clothes, this backpack. I need all of this stuff. And the thing is, guys, that stuff is holding you hostage. That stuff is stuff that has to be paid or they'll come after you. So you have no choice. You go to your job, you work, and you pay for it, right? And so it's okay. That's why a lot of people are caught in this grind. It's not because they don't know better. They're just stuck, right? And so I'm trying to just show you what's happening, right? So real quick, another little fact. Did you know that 85% of the cars on the road are financed? Did you know that? So I'll tell you guys this, and it's not to brag or anything, but I bought a Tesla recently, and here's the keys, right? Taylor bought a Mercedes and all this stuff, and I bought it for cash. I paid cash. I sent him a wire transfer, and the car got shipped to me and dropped the next day, right? And I drive around in that car, and I feel no guilt. I feel nothing. I don't worry about scratching it. I don't worry about really anything because I own it, right? It's mine. I don't have to pay anyone. I don't have money coming out. It's not a burden on me because it's been paid. It's paid off, right? But everybody else, next time you're driving and you're in traffic, you're stuck, you see that Audi or that BMW next to you, realize that person is typically, 85% of the time, is driving around inside of their own cage. That cage that they bought, that nice car, that nice whatever, is causing them to go and slave away and trade their time for money, and it's really a bad deal, and it's just the effects of society telling us to keep up with the Joneses and do all this other stuff. But when you see that stuff, realize that most of those people aren't as wealthy as they appear, right? The culture has seduced them into buying stuff that they can't really afford, because if they could afford it, they would buy it for cash, and so they're just faking it. and it's a sad situation. So enough of this, guys. You're probably like, dang, Cale, that was like 20 minutes of doomsday. I was like, geez, this is rough. This is what I paid for. This is why I'm in this program. Why are you talking about doomsday with me? Well, I'm just trying to wake you guys up. I'm trying to get you guys ready, because I'm about to show you what this means for me and show you how to go on a path that is so much different from the one that I just outlined. So much better than the one that I just outlined. And that's why you're here. And that's why I'm so excited that you're here watching this right now. Okay, so here's what I'm here to tell you. You need a new car. Okay, and you're probably thinking, Cale, two seconds ago you said that a car would literally be my cage. I'd be a slave to my car. Let me rephrase, okay? You need a vehicle. Okay, you need a vehicle, and that business is your vehicle. The only way up this pyramid, the only way to ascend to the heights that no one else can get to, realistically, honestly, is to build a vehicle out of your business. Something that you can ride in, that can propel you, that can take you to a level that no one else has been to before, okay? You need it. And here's how this business breaks that time for money stranglehold. Okay, so remember, this is the big thing that's crushing the throats of everyone in society, is the fact that there's not enough time in the day. You can't trade your time for money. You'll never make it. It's just too hard unless you get a crazy wage, right? Here's why the business breaks all that, right? There's no restriction on the number of customers. With a business, you don't have to limit yourself to 50 customers an hour. You could have 500 customers an hour, right? And that's really it, is the customers per hour thing. You could have 1,000 customers per hour. You could have, it's insane. There's no limit on dollars per hour. There's no restriction on scale or size or magnitude. The customers are there. Everyone, 99% of people are in this buy mode. Buy. If you look at this, if you go back and look at this graph, really you could flip this graph on its head and just mark this, get rid of all of his stats and say producers. Can you see my mouse? Producers around this 0.7%, and around the 99.3% consumers. The consumers are the ones who go and they buy and they take stuff and they buy that car. They buy that TV. The producers are the ones making the cars, making the TVs, making the products, making the stuff that the consumers care about and purchase. Those are the producers that land them at the top. It's a producer-consumer graph just as much as it is a wealth graph, okay? And so becoming a producer, the ability to produce for the crazy crowds of people willing to buy your stuff is what elevates you, the vehicle that elevates you to the top. And again, another cool thing, guys, is the ability to sell this vehicle. So eventually, if you get this vehicle producing, if you get this vehicle churning, if you get this vehicle making money, you can sell this vehicle to other producers, to other people in this top 1% who will buy it for a large lump sum, which could then bypass years and years and years and years of time, money, servitude, if you were doing that same equation, right? Like, this is how billionaires happen. They scale something, they make it amazing, and they sell it off. And all of a sudden, they have all this money, they never have to work again, and it's over. It's done. Like, they just get a lump sum, and they made more money in that one transaction than they could have their entire life had they worked hourly. And that's what a business really does, right? And so everyone, when you're doing this, everyone wants this kind of, this is why you see all the gurus and the get-rich-quicks and the multi-level marketing schemes and all this crap on the internet. Everyone wants this vehicle just given to you, just handed, just on a silver platter. They want me, Kale, and my business partner Taylor, who's back there doing a live stream right now for you guys in this program. They want this just to be handed to them. And here's the thing, no one's going to hand anything to you, okay? I'm going to show you. Obviously, we're going to make it a lot easier, and that's why you're in this program. But I just wanted to, you'll see. I'll show you. I'll keep showing you. Okay, so that's why we made this program, right? We made KT, V.I.P, and 9 University in order to do our best, to do the most we possibly can, just pour ourselves out there to hand you the formula that you need on a silver platter. We give you literally everything possible that we could ever give you to be successful with a business. But it's not like we're going to sit there and do it for you. We're not going to sit there on your computer and like blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like, this is something that you have to take ownership of and actually do. There is a system, there is a process, there is a freaking step-by-step guide, and we are here to help you every single step of the way. And that is why this program is so powerful, because it gives you such a rocket head start on everyone else who is doing it alone. Because all the people that are doing it alone, they might be part of this 99%. They might be down here chilling, and they might have tried to get up here, but on their own, it's hard to create a Lamborghini or whatever this car is. It's hard to create a vehicle, a business that is so amazing. On your own, that's almost impossible. Like, it just is. You don't know what to do. It's too hard, right? And so that's why we're here, to make it easier, to make it possible for you to actually create this business and actually get up there with us, okay? Get up there to the 1%. But it's supposed to be hard, guys, even with a guide, even with a mentor, even with all of the resources that are available to you right now. I'm not going to shy away from this. That's why this is the first video in the course. It is not supposed to be like perfectly easy. If it was easy, everyone would do it, okay? If starting an Amazon FBA business was like peaches and cream, took 5 minutes, everyone would do it and everyone would be in the 1%, right? But they're not. Because everything that worth doing is difficult. Everything worth trying is hard. And this is no different. You're going to have to put in effort. You're going to have to put in work, okay? And if that scares you off, you're probably, I don't know, you're probably just in the wrong place. You should have known coming into this that starting an Amazon FBA business will be work. It will be so much less work in this program. I guarantee it. I promise you. I literally have staked our entire business and our future on this fact that we can make this so much easier for you. But again, guys, that does not mean that it won't be hard, that there won't be difficulties, that there won't be trials, and you can get through them with our help, right? So here's the question. Here's the real question of this whole presentation. Which one are you? Okay, are you gonna work the rest of your life? You have two options, right? You can either work the rest of your life slaving away for someone else, making them rich, trading your time, your precious, precious time that just doesn't come back. I mean, your time is so limited and so infinite. I mean, so capped on this planet. Every breath that you waste, every second you miss with your kids or your loved ones or your wife, that is not coming back. Are you going to go and you're going to trade your most precious resource, which is time, for money in a hopeless effort to climb this pyramid that already is designed to make you drop and fail? Is that what your plan is? Or is your plan to subvert this whole thing, to go against this whole equation, to go against this whole stupid pyramid that no one can freaking climb up, which is the reason why everyone falls down to the bottom? Is your goal to build something that can allow you to just skate up that pyramid? It's not going to be simple. Building the car is not going to be easy. Building the car is not going to be a walk in the park. But when you build it, when you build this business, you will be able to get up to a place that none have been before. Are you willing to work hard, refuse to quit now, and to build something that can actually propel you to the top? Are you actually? I'm seriously asking you. I want you to take a look at yourself and think about it for a second. Am I willing to do what it takes? Here's some disclaimers, guys. Your friends, your loved ones, etc., they might not support you. You might have bought this program. You might have dropped whatever you dropped to get into this program, and people are already saying, you're dumb. What are you doing? What are you thinking? And that goes back to what I said at the beginning. The 99% of people will never, ever, 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 should I say ever again, ever understand what you did. They will not get it because they have not experienced the fact that it is possible to get to that level. Listening to people who have not been there before you is the quickest way to fail, I promise you. This is not going to take 5 minutes. I don't know what brought you here, who you talked with on the phone, whatever happened when you got into this program. It is not going to take 5 minutes. It is going to take sustained work to get through this program, and it's going to be effort-based. You're going to have to do some stuff. Trust me, we made it as simple as physically possible. It is still very, very simple compared to any other business model in the world, but you're going to have to do the work. This is not going to be like taking candy from a baby. This is not going to be like, oh, I clicked a button and I made $1 million. That doesn't exist. That doesn't exist anywhere. If that's what you expected, if you expected a magic bullet, you're in the wrong place. If you want a 1% life, you must make decisions right now and stick with them that 99% of people are unwilling to make. Okay? This is the facts. You know the statistics. 99% of people haven't made it. 1% of people have. In order to get there, you have to make decisions that are different from the other 99%. So the fact that you are anxious right now because you just dropped whatever to get into this program, the fact that you are sitting here watching this video and thinking, man, I wonder if I have what it takes. That is good. That is so good because that means that you are doing something different than everybody else. If you were doing the same thing as everybody else, your brain, your mind, everything would feel great. Oh, this is what everybody's doing. It's okay. It's all right. You'd rationalize it away because it just feels good to follow the crowd. You have to. This feeling of uncomfortability is exactly right, and it means you're in the right place, okay? And so here's the things the 1% of people do. You're deciding right now, if you're watching this video, to be in the 1%. Hopefully this is where you're kind of leading, right? I want to be in the 1%. Well, here's things that the 1% do not do. They don't blame others. They don't complain. They don't give up. They don't listen. They don't expect some kind of magic bullet to just achieve this overnight. They don't listen to the crowd of people screaming, you're stupid, you're an idiot, this is not the right way to go. That is the opposite of what the 1% do. They don't do any of that stuff. Here's a 1% quote to live by, okay? If you write this down, tattoo this on your body, whatever. Never accept criticism from people who you wouldn't accept advice from. This is from Stan Van Gundy. What an amazing quote, guys. Never accept criticism from people that you wouldn't accept advice from. Ask yourself this, okay? Should I be taking financial or business advice from X person, my mom, my sister, my coworker down the street, my neighbor, who makes $50,000, $100,000, maybe even $200,000 per year? Should I be accepting advice from them? Is that what I want for myself? Because accepting that average advice equals an average result for me, right? So ask yourself who those people are in your life and should you be taking their advice? Should I second guess my decision to start a business? Right now, you guys have made a decision to start a business, right? You made an amazing decision, and you are in the right place, and I'll say it over and over again throughout the program. Should I second guess my decision to be here because of, Bobby down the street who makes 40 grand, who works at the electric plant and says that this is a bad decision and Amazon is a scam? Should I second guess my decision because of his knowledge? Or should I listen to people who have done it before and actually are doing it right now and are actually making a lot of money? These are the options that you have. You can listen to all the noise and all the crap of people that want to pull you down to their level, or you can listen to the truth. Should I fall back because of a crowd of people is doing something different than me? Just because everyone is going to a 9-to-5 job, collecting a paycheck, steady earnings, they're saving away, they're saving their 401k, all that stuff, while at the same time they're making 60 grand, 80 grand, maybe even 100 grand a year, and they're living the lifestyle where they mortgage their house, they're in debt up to their eyeballs, they can't pay for their kids' college fund, they don't go on trips whenever they want, they work on Monday through Friday and they party on the weekends, they get hungover and they dread going to work, getting there on Monday, they wake up to an alarm clock every morning for their entire life, they look forward 6 months in advance to a 2-week vacation, which is the only time where they actually get to live the life that they have worked so hard for. If that's what you want, if you want to listen to people that are living a lifestyle like that, go ahead and fall back into the crowd. But I'm hoping you guys are a little bit different, okay? So what's it going to be? I'm trying to get you guys fired up here in the first video because now is the time to decide. Now is the frickin' time to decide. Is it going to be fakery or action? There's so much fakery on the internet. There's so many people that just say they're going to do anything. They post inspirational memes. They're entrepreneurial wannabes. That's all they are. They come into the Facebook group and they say, "What's up, everyone? Beautiful day here today." There are people in the 9 University and the KT VIP group who have been there for years, who have just been there for years, and they've never sourced a product. They know all the answers. They can type every answer. They could write a book about Amazon FBA, but they've never actually done it. They've never actually sourced a single product. They make YouTube videos about it. They're all over the place. These people are fake as hell. And if that is you, woo! I don't know. Good luck. Have a fun time. What's it gonna be? Okay? Are you gonna be like Steve? Are you gonna say, here, it was the first week, this is what I did, okay? I formed an LLC, I got a business bank account, I got Seller Central account opened, I got my domain reserved, I got my email set up, and now I'm through the first 2 weeks of training videos. All of this while I was working a ton of overtime last week, so I'm feeling good. And then he tells a story. How many of you guys are going to post that in the group instead of an inspirational quote that says, "Hey, I'm going to kill this. This is going to be amazing." And I like that. That's actually good. I want that positivity in the group. I want you guys to be like, "Hell yeah, I'm going to kill this. Here I am. Watch out for me." But I'm going to show you how to do that right in a second. But this is the type of stuff. Are you going to take action or are you just going to talk? Now's the time to decide, okay? What's it going to be? Is it going to be fakery or action? Is it going to be first blood or is it going to be never in the fight? If you guys don't know what first blood is, if you haven't watched the videos above, first blood is every time a person in our student group makes a sale, they type their first sale, they put first blood because the first person to stick their knife in the opponent in a battle usually wins. And make no mistake, this is a battle not only for our wallets and for our homes and for our children and for our freaking lives, it's for our souls, okay? Which of you is willing to sacrifice your soul, your dreams, everything that you have aspired to be, I hope you can see the passion in my face, your entire life? Which of you is willing to sacrifice that and just give it up to a life of working for someone else your whole freaking life and just trading your precious soul, your time, your energy for money? Which of you are going to go down that path and just give up on this Amazon FBA thing and not do it? And which of you are going to be the type that sticks the knife in and gets their first blood and gets their first sale and gets on to making an impact with their Amazon FBA business? What's it going to be? Is it going to be first blood or is it going to be never even in the fight? It's up to you. What's it going to be, guys? Fakery or action? Is it going to be realizing your dreams like Joshua Mallon, who was literally scuba diving when he hit $50,000 a month with his family, I don't know, in some tropical location? I don't even make this stuff up. This is real. You can go talk to Joshua in the student group right after this if you want. Amazing dude. $50,000 a month, scuba diving his ass off. Gary Hutton proposing in some tropical luau over here. He was homeless when he started, just so everyone knows. $40,000 a month. What's it going to be, guys? Is it going to be going to get your dreams? Following the program below is exactly how they got their dreams. All you got to do is follow the program and actually see it through to the end? Is it going to be you following the program all the way through to the end? Or is it going to be you going back to slaving away and handing your soul back to trading time for money? Which one is it going to be? Okay, so now guys, it's time to make a commitment. It's time to sign off and commit on it. So I wrote this down a second ago. I think I already lost the paper, which is a bad example because I want you guys to literally pin this on your wall, but this was an example. I have a real one of these at home. I just didn't have it with me. I need you to get out a piece of paper right now. Get a Sharpie, get something permanent, and write on this piece of paper what you are committing to. A good example of this is what I wrote right here. I commit to seeing my Amazon FBA dream through to the end, no matter what. And then put this below. A 1% life comes by taking actions that 99% won't. Okay, sign your name and date it. Okay, the reason I'm doing this is not some cheesy thing. Honestly, this piece of paper means nothing. As you can see, I just lost it already, which is the opposite of what I want. Do not sign this paper. Do not write on this paper if you don't mean it. If you don't want to actually live the life that the 1% live, if you don't actually want to grow an Amazon FBA business, then don't write this down and don't sign your name to it because it's BS and you're just lying to yourself. Write it on this piece of paper, frame it, put it up in your office, put it up wherever you work, put it somewhere where you see it every single day. And then guys, if you really mean it, post it in the group, okay? Post it in the 9U group, post it in the KT VIP group and say, here's my commitment, hold me to it. Here's my commitment, hold me to it. And have everyone else in the group hold you accountable to what you're committing to. I want this to be personal. I want this to be raw. I want this to be the truth. Okay, the truth will always win out. And the truth is that you are capable of far more than you have ever dreamed. The truth is that there is no difference between you and me. There is no difference between you and billionaires. There is no difference between you and all of the people in the top 1% of the world. Okay? Guys, I hope you can hear the intensity and the truth in my voice because I know this is a turning point for a lot of you. I know a lot of you have gotten into this program and you're thinking to yourself, I don't know if I should do it. I don't know if this is right for me. I get a lot of emails. People get into the program. They say, this just isn't for me. Blah, 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 blah. It's not about if it's for you or if it's not for you. It's about what type of person are you? Are you the type of person who can go out and make a change in your life? Are you the type of person that can actually believe in themselves enough? All you have to do is believe in yourself to take the next step, and then the step after that, and the step after that, and to never ever quit. Are you that type of person? Are you literally a faker, a quitter, and someone who is more willing to sell your soul to the time clock, give away your time, than you are to go out and do something real? I don't know. I can't speak for anyone here. All I can do is speak for myself. And what I will say, and what I will commit to you guys who have watched this whole video, is that I will not quit working for people who have the same mindset as me. I will never stop until I'm in the ground helping people who are committed to not giving away their time, their souls, their effort, their energy I'm committed to the people who are willing to do the different things, the things that are the 1% things, the things that the 99% of people will never ever do. Those people, if you're one of those people and you post this in the group, you have my word that I am committing to you and I'm committing to your success and I have got your back the entire way. And I'm living proof, guys, honestly, that anybody could do it. I don't have to explain my story to you. You guys know my story. The truth of the matter is that I have got to this point off basically just refusing to quit. That's basically it. Committing to a goal and refusing to quit. So if that's you, I hope you meant what you wrote. I hope you truly believe it. I hope you signed it in blood. I hope you did something crazy because honestly, only time is going to tell. That's the only thing that's going to tell. There's a lot of fakers out there. Most of you guys won't make it. But if you're one of the people that will make it, let's do this. Welcome to the program. Welcome to KT VIP. Welcome to 9U. The program is all laid out below. I promise you I'm not going to belabor you with more motivation. This was enough motivation for you. Maybe I'll put some more videos up later. I don't know. But if you're not fired up right now, you're probably not breathing oxygen. So get air into week 1. Let's do this thing together. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you guys later.